I shouldn't cuss, should I? I just kind of try to have fun with it. Just kind of drew something goofy, but thought I'd paint something that wasn't coming off as violent or anything in any way. The guys that own the studio here, I got a little bit of input with them as far as like what he should be holding. They like the creamsicle, so I went with that. But that's all I allowed them to have any input on. I mean, it was nice to be selected because I had a number of friends telling me that I should do it. This is the first time I've painted. I've attended and done some stuff here and there, like in some events or whatnot, but I haven't actually painted anything on the wall before. I was just always drawn since I was a kid. I didn't go to school for it, just something I've been into doing, so pretty much self-taught. I'm definitely a different artist from a lot of the graffiti artists.
I've been around and looked at a lot of the murals right now, and like most of them are pretty. Most of them look good. The colors are great. No disrespect to any of the artists down here, but this one's different. This one's like an ad for something evil, and that's what makes it cool.
Yeah, you know, I gotta change things up around here. It's getting there. I just still got both of his hands on the camera to do. I think I'm like close to being done, and then I look at it and go, oh, wait a minute, no, I still got a lot to go.
It's all technique driven in art. Food to me as a chef is nourishing, giving a gift to someone and having instant gratification and response.
The texture is super nice.
Eat dosa, eat lamb. With any dish that we choose and any dish that we want to like kind of use as our project and our platform, you learn about the culture, you learn about the town, you learn about the city, the people, who's eating it, and then try to make it presentable for Denver. Linger kind of goes against the grain and uses an idea of a classic dish and then kind of flips it upside down and reconstructs it and then puts it in front of a guest as something that's familiar.
Cricket.
But as soon as they taste, it's unfamiliar. It's got that element of surprise.
The idea is definitely a little off-putting at first within the dish with it, the extra little bit of crispness. You really don't even really notice that it's a bug, essentially.
Can we call them micro livestock? I do feel very tender towards them, which is maybe a funny thing to say since ultimately they become food. I am Wendy Lou McGill, CEO and founder of Rocky Mountain Micro Ranch. Oh, there's super tiny little babies in here. We're farming mealworms and crickets. This bin is like an all-inclusive cruise where they're a singles cruise, if you will. So they can eat all they want, make lots of new friends, and thus babies. There are thousands and thousands of eggs in this container, and that's where the new generation will start. Since I founded the farm in 2015, Denver has become a hotbed of having insects in restaurants. Denver usually has more restaurants serving insects on the menu than even New York or San Francisco, LA.
We're currently serving a sweet and sour cricket with black ant dish, black ant rice we call it. I think that the ant is the most exciting because the ant can be used as a salt substitute, it can be used as a lime or lemon or orange substitute.
Gives it like a nice little kick as well too. There's a little bit of like papa flavors.
Crickets, for example, I call them tofu bugs because they just don't bring much flavor on their own.
And then you can season them with anything. Chili spices, lime spices. Bruno, it's gonna be 2 happy stickers.
It's an honor to work with those kinds of restaurants and those really creative chefs. And then also it gives a lot of credibility to the idea. We might have a chance to make this be part of our regular diet.
The flavor is wild. I say try it and share it with some friends. If you don't want to commit to it, ask your neighbor that you're sitting with and say, hey, let's get it. Let's try it, let's split it. You're gonna have some good thoughts about it.
If these sounds are sweet,
We want to round over the top of the fret.
the man behind this music
My passion is building musical instruments. Oh, it looks pretty good to me.
is John Orth.
We are in the middle of a mandolin build.
He's the man pushing
It'll just be nice and even.
or pulling these students to their goals.
I take the students from stock lumber through a finished instrument. So they've been carving, scraping, and sanding for the last 13 weeks.
Going longer than I want to because of how dense the wood is.
I live my life in and around music, so building them helps me, relax.
That and his hobby,
Pull-ups are sort of an obsession that happened by accident.
He lost a local gym's competition, so he trained for a calendar year and then went bigger, much bigger.
As of right now, I am the Guinness Book of World Records holder for the most pull-ups in 24 hours.
Orth's 2016 record is 7,600.
The first time it was simple obsession,
In September, he broke it.
7,670.
That's just awaiting the Guinness seal as the new world record. What's it like being a Guinness World Record holder?
It's fun.
He can train for up to 3 hours a day, cranking out 700 to 800 pull-ups per hour.
I'm the guy who forgot leg day.
And he already has his sights set on what's next.
I want the 1 hour. The 1 hour is a long-standing elite record, and I feel completely capable of pushing that one much further.
That sits at 1,009.
I think I could push the number to 1,200 with a few months worth of work.
Training for that attempt starts soon.
I can just get on the bar and for a little while disappear from the rest of the world.
Eventually, though,
Hand these out.
he has to come back to his day job.
And once they're sanded flush, you're ready to glue that down.
Sort of.
I have a pull-up bar in my office, so I could still pull out a few hundred per day even while working.
With no leg day in sight.
I usually do them with my eyes closed.
In Golden, I'm Jason Grenauer. Denver 7.
I thought they were joking. As you can see, they had to thread the needle just to get through it. Took out, 3 pieces of glass and ended up parked inside the restaurant. 2 o'clock, I had a server call that was very shaken up and said, "Hey, Sean, another car just came in, took out 3 windows. We're not sure if anybody's hurt. 40% of our seats are lost at the moment."
Yeah, I'm down a whole section of my restaurant. This is our busy season, so it is going to be a little bit of a hardship. I'm, going to have to schedule less people, and it's frustrating because, it is the holiday season, and those people want to provide a nice holiday season for their families as well.
Oh, it's Candy Apple Gray.
It's a loss of income for a lot of our employees.
He's affected a lot of people's lives that we have to work for our living. We don't have salaries, and for him to do something like this is robbing us of our income. I was standing where the car hit.
Kevin, look where you are.
As I walked away, the car entered the building.
So Dan had just walked by, and then...
Oh my God! Sounded like a complete explosion, something that will stick with you for the rest of your life.
So this is front license plate. So that's some memorabilia for you.
20-some years ago was the last time we had a bad accident where a car had, hit the property, and this year it's 3. So Valentine's Day this year, we had a car come through. So we had a little bit of fun with it the first time, and we had painted, hashtag not a drive-through.
I was actually here that night. This one is a lot worse. So when I saw the picture, when I was on my way back down here, it was just like, holy moly, what is going on? My first thought was, we're going to be closed for months. How are we going to recover from this? And I think we are pretty resilient.
We did our best to, all the staff pulled together and got us ready for tonight. So we're going to open at 4 o'clock today.
Really neat view. Some of them are completely gone, some of them are orange and yellow, and then there's some other ones that are green.
The perfect time. I was here last week, and there's a lot more gold this week, so I came back.
I was looking through my binoculars, you can see a moose.
I just saw I saw the tips of his antlers moving around.
Cool.
Yeah, you don't see them. I've seen bighorn sheep out here and some deer, but never a moose. It's really a treat.
Oh, cool. That is really cool. Oh, wow. Right here. He was standing right there.
I don't think there's any words to describe it. You kind of just have to be in the moment with it, enjoy it. You can't really think about it. You just have to be present with, all the scenery, and yeah, I don't think there's any really words to describe it.
It's beautiful.
I'm supposed to be at the airport in and out. My flight's at 7:30, so I got to be there by 6:30. It's 4:30 now. I got about an hour and a half to get to the airport, so this is the last shindig right here. But this is pretty spectacular.
I never get sick of it. I get excited every year.
Because there's only this time of year that you get to see them. It's about like a 2-week window where they change and then they just fall off. And so you really got to find the right time to get up here.
I love baseball. The history of it is just that it's, it's been around for ever.
out-of-town scoreboard, so we keep track of all the games that are going on other than the Rockies.
All the old stadiums used to do everything manual.
We have American League on one side, National League on the other.
It is a pretty cool job. He asked me if I wanted to work out here 10 years ago. And I had to think about that long and hard because I was like, okay, extreme cold, extreme hot. I said, okay, I'll go ahead and give it a try for a year. And 10 years later, I'm still here.
This is my first season back here. I really wanted to come back here, so I was lucky got the opportunity to come back here. Oh, it's awesome. It's so much fun. Get to watch a lot of baseball, keep up with a lot of stats. It's fun. We have one game going, so it's a little slow. Last night, with the intensity of situations with the Dodgers and the Arizona, we had a lot of activity going on.
Yeah, last night was very exciting.
Arizona and LA.
They watched us when we changed Arizona to be ahead of the Dodgers, and so they were ecstatic.
It was so exciting. Put that up and hear those cheers, it was just really made you feel like you were part of something.
That's right. That's how we do.